Once upon a time, nestled between a sparkling river and a forest full of singing birds, was a kingdom just the right size. Ruling over this kingdom was a kind king, known for his bright smile and even brighter spirit. He was always happy. Some folks whispered it was magic, but the truth was, the king simply chose to see the good in everything. One year, the harvest was bountiful. Golden wheat swayed in the fields, plump pumpkins dotted the land, and juicy berries hung heavy on the vines. The king, overjoyed, declared a grand celebration. Everyone danced and sang, their laughter echoing through the streets. They were so caught up in the merriment that they forgot to store the precious seeds for the next year's crops. Imagine those seeds, children, like tiny treasure chests, each one holding the promise of a new plant, just waiting to burst forth with life. But these treasure chests were left out in the open. As the sun set, a mischievous wind swirled through the kingdom, followed by a rumble of thunder. Rain poured down, drenching the forgotten seeds. The next morning, the people awoke to a soggy surprise. The once magical seeds were now mushy and ruined. Fear spread through the kingdom faster than a sprinting rabbit. Who would grow their food? What would they eat? But the king, seeing his people's distress, simply smiled and said, "It's all right. We will plant new seeds and have an even more amazing harvest next year." The people grumbled, their bellies already starting to feel empty, but what about now? "We can't eat next year's harvest today." The king, ever resourceful, clapped his hands together. "We shall have a feast of fruits and vegetables. Think of the colorful salads and delicious soups we can enjoy." This only made the people crosser. They wanted their warm bread and fluffy rice. "You only say that because you're the king. You can just buy what you want," they accused. The king, with his heart full of patience, shook his head. "My dear people," he said, his voice gentle but firm, "happiness isn't about what's happening around us, but what's happening inside us. It's a choice we make every day, like choosing to smile even when the clouds are gray." The people scoffed. "Easy for you to say. You've never had to worry about an empty plate." Determined to prove his point, the king issued a challenge. "I will prove to you that happiness is a choice. I will find someone in this very kingdom who is just as happy as I am, even without a crown on their head." To find this happy soul, the king announced a grand competition, a contest of creativity and joy. There would be 3 categories: painting, singing, and dancing. Everyone could express their happiness in their own special way. Excitement bubbled through the kingdom. People practiced their songs, rehearsed their dances, and let their paintbrushes swirl with color. The day of the competition dawned bright and clear, and anticipation hung thick in the air. The first competition was painting. The king, with a twinkle in his eye, gave the artists their challenge, to capture the essence of happiness and confidence on their canvases. Some painted pictures of families enjoying picnics under the sun, others painted portraits of the king himself, radiating joy. But one painting stood out. It depicted a small, rickety boat, tossed about in a stormy sea. The boat was moments from breaking apart, yet inside, a young boy sat calmly, a single candle burning brightly beside him. The people murmured in confusion. Why would the king choose this painting, a picture of struggle and danger, as the winner? The king, seeing their bewilderment, gestured towards the painting. "Look closely," he urged. "Do you see the fear in the boy's eyes? Do you sense panic or despair?" The people shook their heads. The boy in the painting, despite his dire circumstances, seemed to glow with an inner peace, a quiet confidence that even the storm couldn't touch. "This," the king announced, "is true happiness, the kind that shines brightest in the face of hardship." He then called the painter forward. A hush fell over the crowd as a young boy, no older than 11, shyly approached the throne. He was dressed in clothes patched with different fabrics, his face smudged with paint and a wide, gap-toothed grin. The king smiled warmly. "Tell me, young artist, are you always this happy?" The boy nodded, clutching his paintbrush. "Yes, Your Majesty. I have my family, a roof over our heads, and my art. That's all the happiness I need." The crowd gasped. This boy, who had so little in terms of material possessions, possessed a wellspring of joy that many of them, with their full storehouses and comfortable homes, lacked. The king beamed, spreading his arms wide. "You see, my people? Happiness is a choice. And this brave young artist has chosen it, even amidst the storm." He then turned towards the crowd. "We don't need any more competitions today. I have found what I was looking for." And so, the kingdom learned a valuable lesson that day. They discovered that true happiness didn't depend on a good harvest or a full pantry. It came from within, a flickering candle of hope and resilience that no storm could extinguish. And as for the king and the young artist, they became the best of friends, sharing stories, laughter, and a happiness that bloomed brighter than any field of sunflowers. And the kingdom? It learned to sing a new song, a melody of gratitude and joy, proving that even a mistake with some seeds can blossom into a valuable lesson about the true meaning of happiness.